The Miami-Dade condo market is officially heating up just like this spring weather, and we're going to be talking about it all in this video today, including how prices continue rocketing into the stratosphere with big month-over-month and year-over-year gains, while at the same time, inventory continues to increase, which is just crazy, okay? Because normally when inventory increases, prices go down, but that's not what's happening. We're talking about it all in this video today so that you can be the best informed consumers in the land. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami-Dade real estate agent, and it's a pleasure to be bringing you guys this video today, as we do every single month on this channel, bringing you the data fresh from the MLS, and we've got some big changes in the Miami-Dade condo market that we're going to be talking about in this video today. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned, because, you know, it doesn't get any better than this, okay? This is the direct data, uncut, unfiltered, unbiased information direct to your brain. So if that's something that you're appreciative of, go ahead and smash that like button. And one of the things that we are talking about in this video today is how we have officially adjusted the median sale price for what it takes to be considered a luxury condo in Miami-Dade from $1 million to $1.3 million, because the percentage of what it takes to be in that top 10% of sales, aka the luxury market, it has increased, okay? As median sale price has increased over time, that has shifted the prices up. As I try to get myself in focus there, that has shifted the prices upwards to where, the top 10% now is a higher number. It takes a higher percentage or a higher median sale price to be in that top 10 percentage, okay? So we went from $1 million to $1.3 million. So you could buy a $1.3 million condo in Miami-Dade now, and it's not even necessarily considered a luxury condominium, which is pretty wild, okay? So, one thing I'll say is that this is normal, relatively speaking at least, for this to adjust over time as that median sale price continues to rocket into the stratosphere here in Miami-Dade. But the reason why we do this is to look at the two markets, the normal and then the non-luxury market, the bottom 90% and then the top 10%, separately, okay? Because they are different, right? Especially when you have tons of sales in the 5s, 10s, 20 millions. There was even a recent condo that sold for $48 million in recent months. So the buyers and sellers of these two different markets have different considerations, different financial needs, different financial capabilities and capacities. And in order to have a better understanding of each market, I like to provide you with extra and more accurate context so that you can be better equipped to traverse this absolutely crazy, wild, insane market, all right? So obliterate the like button if you appreciate that, okay? Now, the first graph, the first little bit of data that we're going to be talking about right now is the number of active listings and then also new listings, okay? Active listings went up, new listings went down. What were the exact numbers? Well, active number of listings went up to 8,298. Now, that's only 63 more listings than last month's 8,235 for a 0.8% increase. Now, year over year, however, you're looking at a pretty decent jump of 2,051 additional units on the market, or a 32.8% increase. So you can see how, really since like March of 2022, we've pretty much just had this steady trend of increased inventory in the condo market, okay? And really, honestly, since last summer, about, July, August of last summer in 2023, we've seen a much more pronounced increase of inventory, okay? So that's definitely something interesting to note. Now, if we look at the difference in inventory from 2019, just like we did for single-family homes, which I just put out a video on the single-family home market. If you're interested in that, that'll be the last video that I put out on my channel. So if we do the same thing, looking at 2019 for condos, then we actually see, looking back here again, right there, that it's 15,223 active listings is where we were at in March, okay? So we're down to, again, 6,000, we're down 6,925 units, okay? Which is 45.5% of a reduction, okay? So we're at 45.5% of the inventory that we were at back here pre-pandemic, okay? Now, new listings came in at 2,288. That's down 60 units from 2,348 for a 2.6% reduction. Year over year, we are actually up 12.3% from 2,038 listings, okay? So if you go back here to March, we're up from that point. There's more new inventory coming on the market, okay? So if you're shopping for a condo, that's good news for you. If you're selling a condo, that means you got some more competition and you got to be a little bit more shrewd with your pricing, okay? Now, compared to 2019, again, we're actually down 520 new listings, so we're not quite up to that point yet. That was 2,808 new listings versus 2,288. And that's an 18.5% reduction compared to now, okay? Now, the next graph is average days on market. And average days on market were down to 81 from 91 last month, okay? So that's that green line there. You see a little drop-a-roni, a little droppity-doo right there. That's a 10-day on market decrease or increase in the speed of the market, if you will. Now, year over year, last March was at 79 days on market, okay? So not a really big change there, but still a little bit slower by a couple days. And closed price to original price ratio, what is that? Closed price to original price ratio, all that is a percentage to express the difference of how much properties were originally asking versus how much they ultimately sold for, and then averaging that across the market, okay? So if a condo was listed for $1 million and it sold for $950,000, that's a 95% closed price to original price ratio, okay? So the closed price to original price ratio came in at 95.7%. That's up 0.3% from last month. Year over year, we had 96.2% closed price to original price ratio. So sellers getting a little further from their asking price compared to last year. That's that blue line right there. You can see last year it was up here. Right now it's right around down there. Okay, so it's on the way up, meaning sellers are getting closer to their asking price than they were in January. But that's also kind of normal because, the January market is still kind of slow from the holidays. People are like picking up the pieces of their lives and getting into the swing of things, okay? Now, next graph that we're going to look at here is the one that most people care about the most, which is median sale price. And then also looking at the number of sales, that's the green and the blue line respectively. So looking at the green line first, the median sale price, still, rocketing into the stratosphere. Both median sale price and the sheer number of sales both took a big jump this past month, with median sale price, again, in the non-luxury range of $1.3 million and below, came in at $413,500. That's up $14,000 from $399,500 last month for a 3.5% increase in just 1 month, okay? Now, year over year, it's the median sale price is up $36,250 from $377,250. That's a 9.6% increase, okay? So at a time when other markets in the country are seeing 10, 20, even 30% reductions in sale prices, here in good old Miami-Dade, we're seeing 9.6% appreciation for condos, okay? So not too shabby from a year-over-year standpoint in terms of, appreciation or return on your investment, okay? Now, compared to single-family homes, which went up 11.9% year-over-year, condos weren't as stellar of an investment as those single-family homes were last year, but let's be real, a 9.6% yearly return is incredible nonetheless, okay? And then we also looked at 2019 pre-pandemic numbers, and back then in March 2019, when the median sale price was a paltry $235,000, we have seen $178,500 worth of appreciation in the 5 years since March of 2019. Get ready for this, drum roll please, for a 76.0% increase, okay? That's crazy. congrats if you bought a condo, on or before then, or really even any time in between then and last year, because you had almost 10% appreciation. Sounds like investing in Miami is a good idea, guys. I'm starting to think it might be a good idea. Now, single family homes did appreciate 77.3, so 1.3% more, okay? But when you're talking about 77, 76%, was 1%, okay? In that 5-year time. So pretty close, but then again, single family homes are barely edging out condos, like I said, as being a, better investment in terms of solely appreciation. Of course, maintenance and insurance and other fees come into play on a case by case basis, but overall, again, it sounds like it might be a good idea to buy real estate in Miami-Dade. Now, sales, that's our blue line there. Big jump from 876 last month to 943 in March for a 7.6% increase of 67 sales, okay? Now, year over year, we had 1,356 sales last March, which was over here, all right? So decent amount more. That's a decrease of 30.5% in the number of sales year over year, which is 413 less sales, okay? That's a big drop in the number of sales, all right? And especially considering that we have more inventory now than we had last year, you would almost think, hey, there should or could be more sales because there's more inventory, right? People are able to find more properties that they want. But, with sales prices going up, median sale price going up, rates are still high. The economy overall feels like it's slowing down, right? Inflation is back up now. It kind of makes sense that things are slowing down a bit in terms of sales, but we're also heading into the spring market. So maybe April is going to be a blockbuster month. Okay, remember Blockbuster? That's a funny callback. Anyways, it was a service where you could rent movies in an actual store for all the the Gen Zs or any, I don't know, are Gen Alphas watching real estate videos yet? Anyways, so if we take off our filter for the luxury versus non-luxury range, and we just do all price points, okay? So no filter whatsoever for price. We take off the 1.3 million and we just do 0 to infinity. So if we take off that price filter, we see a median sale price of $453,750, which jumped $33,750 in just 1 month, or 8.0%, rather than the 3.5, okay? Look how big that jump is in that line versus the one that we had before over here, where, it still, it still looks like a freaking roller coaster going up to the top, but compared to this one, you see that one's a lot steeper, okay? So year over year, it would have jumped actually $52,750 or 13.2% rather than 9.6%, okay? So also on a year over year basis, that number looks even more extreme. So the pre-pandemic difference from March 2019's 245,000 median sale price would be $208,750 or 85.2% rather than 76%, okay? So, you guys can see why I sort of bifurcate. Did I pronounce that correctly? Let me know in the comments. You can see why I split these off into two different markets, because the difference is really stark, okay? When you compare the luxury market versus the non-luxury versus if you just lump them all together, okay? So shout out for statistics that give you a better understanding of what's going on with more context, and, extra shout out to our good old friend, the like button, okay? Now looking at the blue line there, the number of sales with no price filter came in at 1,077, up 100 sales from 977, or 10.2%. Next graph here is months of inventory and expired listings. So months of inventory, all that is if no new listings came on the market, how long would it take to sell the existing supply? months of inventory stayed at 9 months from February to March. Last March was 5 months of inventory. So, you know, it's definitely a good bit slower now than it was last March. But again, you know, our sales are way down as well, and there's way more inventory. So this makes a lot of sense that the months of inventory would be a lot higher, okay? Hopefully you guys follow me on that. You know, and also, too, we were in a definitively seller's market last March, and now we're in what's considered a normal market, okay? So anything 1 month through 6 months, or I guess 0 through 6 months, is considered a seller's market. You know, between 6 to 12 months is a normal market, and over 12 months of inventory is considered a buyer's market. So we're still pretty far away from a buyer's market in condos, but, you know, looking at that green line, how it's been trending over the last, you know, year and change, maybe we're eventually going to get there. We'll see. You know, we'll definitely know on this channel if and when that happens. You'll be the first to know about it, especially if, you know, you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, okay? Now, expired listings, that's our blue line there. All that is when a contract between the listing agent and the seller expires and the house is no longer on the market. So expired listings took a good little 243 unit increase from 1,580 to 1,823, which is a 15.4% increase. That's that little uptick right there that you can see, and that's what's happening, guys. Okay, so what does this mean if you're a buyer? What does it mean if you're a seller? What does it mean if you're an investor? Okay, now the good news is if you're a buyer, there's a ton more inventory on the market, okay? You know, it's just stacking up and stacking up, you know, like something that you would stack. And, you know, the bad news is, though, if you're a buyer, prices just keep going up, okay? But on the flip side, that's a good sign as well, because if you are able to buy, then you can pretty much expect that next year your property will be worth more and you will have accrued appreciation for free, right? For nothing, right? Or for not doing anything. For just being an owner of property, you will experience appreciation in that property. Of course, I can't guarantee anything. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't have a crystal ball. So hashtag don't sue me, bro. But the data would suggest that it's very likely that you will get to experience appreciation in that property, okay? Now, also, if you're a buyer, it's super important to be aware of what the comps are, okay? And working with a good agent, such as myself, is going to help you with that, because what's happening is a lot of people are still going on fishing expeditions, okay? Even though that the closed price to original price ratio is going up a little bit and getting closer to the asking price, there are still people who are going on fishing expeditions and trying to get way more for the property than what it's worth. So, you know, if you're not aware, you might get lulled or fooled into paying more for a property than what it's worth, and then, you know, worst case scenario, well, not necessarily worst, but one of the bad scenarios that can arise out of that is the appraisal comes in low, and if you ended up waiving your appraisal contingency or waiving your financing contingency, then you're going to have to come to the closing with cleared funds, aka cash, extra cash out of your pocket in order to make up that difference, okay? So working with an agent who knows their way not just around the data, but knows their way around the contracts, knows creative ways to give a seller what they're looking for while still protecting your best interest, okay? This is why, as a buyer, you should have buyer representation. You know, I'm not going to go into the whole NAR lawsuit right now because I did another video on that you can see on my channel. But, you know, this is why you have professional representation, is to avoid things like this. And this is just one of, you know, countless ways that a buyer can get taken advantage of if they don't have professional representation to help negotiate the best price for them, okay? I am so good at my job that me going into a negotiation is a competitive advantage for you as a buyer, versus if a buyer goes into negotiation without professional representation, and you can take that to the bank. Absolutely 100% guaranteed. Now, what does this mean if you're a seller, okay? If you're a seller, you got more competition, but good news is values are still going up. So it's never been a better time to sell technically, right? Because your property is probably worth a lot more than what it used to be worth at a time when, association fees are increasing, insurance is increasing. It's never been more expensive to maintain your condo. So, again, you want to be aware of what the market is, because what's happening with the data, because if you're not, then you could end up chasing the market down if you overprice, okay? So those people who are coming in on fishing expeditions on their real estate fishing boats that are on the market for a ton of time, after a while, everybody's seen this. They've experienced this. You look at a house or a condo, whatever it is, and you're like, oh, it's been on the market for like 100 and something days, even though the average days on market is, what was it? It was 81 days on market. Then you're like, well, that sounds a little weird, right? It should have already sold, right? So what's wrong with this property? So you don't want to be stuck in that situation if you're a seller, okay? So if you're thinking about selling, reach out to me. I'd love to give you no pressure, input, context of what my opinion is of your current situation, and we can talk it out and figure out if it makes sense for you to even sell, okay? You guys might be able to tell I'm a very no pressure type of guy, okay? I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to give you the actual stats. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I routinely will tell people things that aren't even necessarily in my own best interest in terms of like financially and stuff, because it's the right thing for that person. It's the right thing to do. And I build my business on relationships, okay? Now, what happens if you're an investor? What should you know if you're an investor? Well, the good news for investors of condos is this is actually one sector of the market where you can actually make decent investments. Lower priced condos, around the 300 mark, even, you believe it or not, you can buy condos under 300,000 in Miami-Dade still. So there are still decent investments that you can make in the Miami-Dade condo market. You just have to be careful about how, who, what, where, when, why, okay? The whole reserve situation that's happening with Senate Bill 4D, the increase of insurance and condo maintenance fees, like we said, you got to be careful. You got to be very strategic about what you invest in and make sure that the numbers make sense, okay? Especially if it's something that you're going to, that you're not going to be doing any, value adds or rehabs on to increase the rentability of it. It's something you got to really make sure that the rental numbers work, okay? So that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? What are you hearing? What are your comments, questions, and concerns? If you want direct help with those comments, questions, and concerns, all my contact info is in the description down below. You can literally reach out to me and we can speak one-on-one, and I'll help you out with your exact situation. And it would actually be a pleasure to help you out with that. I'm here to be a resource for the community. So, that's the story on that situation, okay? So Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty. It's been a pleasure. I'm your Miami real estate agent, and I'd love to help you out. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.